Are we in the common room at the moment? Barb's gonna barge her way past. In fact, Barb's gonna try and walk through Debbie on the way to the stairs. She's just testing out a theory.
You'll probably go flat on your back because Debbie will not move.
Then she'll pick herself up and walk up the stairs, and she's just stick a note on the conspiracy board. I sent you a note, Sarah. Not necessarily now, but at some point in the future.
Debbie calls out to you. Do you need glasses? You seem to not be able to see where you're going.
Barb just ignores her completely.
She's a strange one.
I think Darlene would probably be there at that point as well for the fact that she was walking with Bob. She goes, and she just like looks and sees Bob do that, and it's just like, oh goodness. Is everyone currently in this room now?
Yeah.
Yeah, Barb's made her way back down again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Everyone said there's been an update on the whole Callie situation.
Who?
Callie.
Nope.
Callie is the Duchess's
Kylie.
sister.
The Duchess's daughter.
No.
So her, yeah. So turns out Billy from the Coyote Bulldogs took her in for the ransom. So she's been handed over to whoever that ransom was meant to be paid off by. A lot of stuff is going on with the Bulldogs at the moment. Duchess believes that if that's the case, then hopefully Callie should just return soon. But and yeah, I trust Duchess's judgment on that. The stuff with the Bulldogs is a bit worrying, though. Their leader got killed, and they've been taken over by a new leader who is apparently a famous assassin. And they'd been developing a stronger form of bloodstone for some reason. There's some bad stuff going on there. Yeah. That's that. I think that's everything I know. I have.
Why don't we ask one of the Coyote Bulldogs directly? We seem to have one in the room with us.
The Duchess actually looks around.
Gestures towards Reese. Go on then, out with it.
Are you talking to me?
Does it look like I'm talking to anybody else?
I don't know, Barb. I'm not a Coyote Bulldog. I don't know why you don't understand sarcasm, but no, I'm not. I've been here for like several months now. You should know this.
It's full of lies.
Oh, sarcasm is not lying.
But Barb, Reese has been with us for a while now. She's not. They're not part of the Bulldogs. They're part of the Hades Ladies. They've never been part of the Bulldogs.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Reese, see, this is... People believe you when you don't lie all the time.
Yeah, and how far is that cutting you?
Me or her?
Barb.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
Wow, you're picking a fight with Darlene now.
No fights are happening here. Jesus, what the fuck happened there?
Somebody turned on the sun.
Yeah.
I turned on both of the lights and it just blinded me.
You got struck by a solar flare for a second.
We do seem to have some pressing things we could be getting on with, like recovering the research or looking into the wells or covering
Right.
the daughter of the Duchess.
She is not my daughter.
Looks at Barb.
That daughter. She's just ashamed. Why am I even talking to you?
Yeah,
The-
there's a lot of stuff, isn't there?
The research seems to be the most pressing thing. If we can recover that before it gets to the tower, that would be advantageous.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so let's go. Let's gear up and go and try and get the research back.
Okay.
Do we have a plan for this? Are we just gonna rock up as ourselves? That might make things worse.
We could ask them to return it, and if they don't, we could slice their hands off.
That sounds
That
quite
was
fun.
very extreme.
Well, they wouldn't be able to hold it if they didn't have hands.
This is something that's true, yes. Sarah, just out of curiosity, how many were there? Was it decided there was 10 of them? 10.
Are 10 of them going to take it back, though?
Yeah.
Nah. Lazy people. There's never going to be 10 of them all going to walk back, is there?
We'll soon find out.
If there's 10, that's a lot of people. I
Very
guess
good. That is definitely more than a couple.
Yeah.
A couple each?
It is 2 each. I mean, if it came down to it, we probably could handle that in a fight. But I would
Especially
say
if they had no hands.
maybe there's a different approach we can take that isn't like immediately violent, just for the sake of that we are outnumbered 2-1.
Such as?
Well, do we know how they're transporting these documents? Are they like in a secure thing, or are they in like just someone's pocket, or?
Did we see that? Believe.
Would we have any way of having any knowledge of what kind of route they take? Would there be like a preferred secure route that I could recall that they might take, or work out what the most logical route would be?
I mean, if we can set up an ambush, then we can potentially get in, get the thing, and get out before things got too bad. I guess, Duchess, you might know that area better than if it's inner.
I would hope that we would be able to get to them before they get to the city. That place will be crawling with enforcers.
That's true. Maybe. Okay, so do we know what route they're taking? Like where they're heading from and to?
From here.
From here. and making their way through bulldog territory.
At least someone knows the way from the Bulldogs' territory.
We know our way through the bulldog territory.
Some more than others.
Barb, not the time.
So, sorry, Darlene.
So, any chance we can make use of the bulldogs in this?
I think while they're like trying to figure out their plan, Reese is like slumping back in the couch a bit as she kind of tries to recall all of this and kind of go through like, okay, like remembering maybe like a time when she was enlisted to help with something like this, and she remembered the protocols followed by. I think we can safely assume that this isn't gonna go to Central right now. They aren't on the way to it currently.
Okay.
Likely it's gonna be at the sheriff's office. They're gonna let Central know. I doubt Central would trust sheriffs from the outer ring to safely bring something of this importance.
So you were an enforcer. Oh, do we know that actually?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was?
Yeah. I think Duchess and Aya would know.
Okay. Fine.
But I don't think she like.
Probably not then.
She's not hiding it, but she wouldn't like bring it up and be like, "Hey, I was an enforcer 20 years ago," kind of thing.
So when would so Central's going to send some people in to collect this thing?
Likely a big a card would, likely the fastest card they can send. They want to get this to Central as soon as safely as possible. They don't want.
Do you know how, like, when that is likely to be?
Usually they do it next dawn, but with how high a profile it is, I wouldn't be surprised if they did in the middle of the night, especially with the sheriff's office being in the Coyote Bulldogs territory. I don't think they want to leave anything to chance.
So could we potentially disguise ourselves as the kind of people that would be sent to pick this up and try to get there before, and then like pretend like we're the people that have been sent to pick this thing up?
We could.
Okay.
Reese, are you essentially saying that it could be sat at the office for a few hours?
Very likely. It's afternoon now. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, in
don't
your
know.
rough
completely,
estimation.
yeah, in my estimation of my
totally,
years of being on this earth.
Mhm.
I think no, I don't think. I think they'd wait until nightfall. I mean, I would do that. I wouldn't want to,
Sure.
have a bunch of enforcers walking through, the outer rings to Central. I think it would be very noticeable, especially if there's so many. People would be quite curious. I don't think they'd want that attention right now.
Also, if the sheriff's the only person there, that's only 2 hands to cut off.
I mean, I would assume there's still deputies going to be there throughout the day. I doubt they'd leave one person. And
Is it possible that we could cause some kind of distraction out the front and some of us sneak in and try and locate these papers?
I mean, last time we tried to do that, we had a bounty put on us by the Coyote Bulldogs, but probably.
I do feel that We are the number one suspect for any sort of activity taking place regarding these documents, considering they were last in our possession. So we have probably about a 4.5% chance of success at the moment.
Is that out of 5 or?
That would be out of 100. That's our percentages. Wow.
I'm not sure she went to. Oh, why am I talking?
Why are you talking, Bob?
Why are you talking to them? Can we all see her?
Who? Debbie?
Yes,
Yeah.
Debbie is real.
Yes, they
Debbie
exist.
Debbie is a full person.
Wait, I'm sorry. You think Debbie is fake?
I mean, it doesn't look like a person.
Did you pray? Like, did you have a?
When I was at home, Mother took too many of her pills and we lost her for 6 days and found her on top of a chandelier licking a candle.
It is the Steepleton way.
Do you think maybe we just took pills?
Would you like me to find a candle for you to lick?
Talking.
You know, my
Yes.
father used to say that madness ran in the Steepleton family, and I never used to believe him until now.
Barb,
My mother used to say that the Duchess's family were all cunts.
Debbie's off getting you a candle. She'll be back in a minute.
Barb, you gotta think of it like this: if Debbie were only a hallucination, then only you would be able to see her. None of the rest of us would.
Here's your candle.
But we can all see her
Thank
because
you.
she's actually here.
I'm not convinced, but I believe you because you don't lie to me. She looks at Reese.
I mean, we could just get Debbie to punch you in the face and see if that
That is a
wound
plan.
saves. That would be pretty. You know, I feel like that would make you believe. Maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I already know that she's solid because I tested that already.
Yeah, that was very funny.
I'm not sure punching Barb in the face would be classed as protecting unless she was going for one of the other Hades ladies. So that would not really be something I could do.
At least she's a sensible hallucination.
We can return to this conversation afterwards, I think. Because I feel like we could go around in circles on this point for a while.
That's a good point, Dolly.
We know where these papers are, and we know that we have a time crunch on how long until they are handed off into a much more difficult situation for us. If we can get in there, grab them, and then find a place to stash them until the heat dies down, that might be the best play, as long as we're not seen in there.
It would be preferable if you were seen elsewhere whilst this happened.
That's true.
I mean, I'm just out of character for a second. Did someone wanted to talk to the sheriff? Was that said in front of people?
Did, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Reese would have been there.
Okay. I mean, I think Duchess, you want to talk to the sheriff? Maybe, you know, you could.
That could
talk
work.
To her. Maybe we could get someone outside of the Hades ladies that could help us. I don't know if I'm assuming someone here might have connections that we could maybe get favor from.
Or we could go in. I could have a chat with her, and someone else could come in, and we could start a fight, or not cut anyone's hands off, Barb.
Maybe I could get a different jacket, a new disguise. Nobody knows who I am. I could go in and take the papers.
Do you think you'd be safe doing that on your own?
The odds are much the same as us just running in there naked, but I do believe it's the only option we have.
And if all else fails, you can cut her hands off.
Yes, that is certainly an option.
Your suggestion in the first place, if you
Correct.
do exist.
So the plan is that we provide a distraction.
I'm good at distractions.
You are, and then Debbie sneaks in and takes the things.
Yeah. If we wanted to move them quickly, I have somewhere that they could be taken to, but it would be in the city.
Right. And best to deal with this before it gets to the city.
There's just going to be so much more.
Yeah, for sure. It's
Yeah.
a much harder situation then.
Debbie, are you good at remembering things?
Yes.
Can you just look at the papers and then we can burn them?
I can't see why not. Some of my memory circuits are questionable at times, but in the most, I can remember most things.
Well, is it just about what's like the information, or is it about what it proves? Because having, if it's about what exactly is this research? Like, what is it about?
It's it would just be the research that is important. The papers, it can be written on anything. It's all Cordelia's research on the.
So if Darlene's read all of these research papers, so well, okay, so this is the kind of question then, right? Like, I didn't understand much of it. Is this a question of, we want these papers because we want the information that's on them, we want these papers because we don't want them to have them, or we want these papers because we want to use them like as a political tool or a legal tool?
The first two primarily, I believe.
Well, it's kind of all of the above.
So who specifically though? Because it's been so long, I actually don't remember what these papers are about at all.
I mean, Barb knows such a lot about so many things.
Scott was pointing to you, Sarah, on my screen.
Yeah, I just knew it was going to be pointing randomly at people. So
yeah,
Oh, it's towards
I know
Riv
who
on
I'm
my
pointing
screen.
at.
I
Okay.
mean, if you're pointing down on my screen, you're pointing at Sarah.
Yeah,
So-
that's okay.
But this is to figure out a person about Duchess.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna make a roll with wits. I could also spend the string that I have on Duchess to gain a +3. I'll roll and yeah, okay, that's fair. I'll roll and then see what I get. Fuck it.
Nice. That'll do.
Yeah, that'll do. Okay, max roll 13. Yeah.
Documents just appear in your hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
First.
So I get to ask. I get to ask 2 questions. So it is Duchess specifically who has the interest in getting these papers back, right? Okay. So what does Duchess hope to gain from getting these papers back?
is that something that Darlene would ask?
No, this is a insight
Okay.
question from the roll that
Okay.
I got.
So she is hoping to use them as leverage to gain political favor with Bryn Wolf. Is that her name? Yes, I remember stuff. Yeah, but she promised them to her. And was, offered a couple of things in exchange for them. So
Okay, so you're looking to use these to gain some political leverage.
mm-hmm.
And the second question that I have, in the question of what do you love most, what Darlene wants to kind of suss out is, does Duchess want to get this political leverage so that she can return to some kind of station or status that she previously had before she joined the Hades Ladies? Or is she doing this because she believes, because she's doing it in service of the Hades Ladies?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer that. She is doing it very much on behalf of the Hades Ladies. She is very much acting in the style of the Duchess. This is the only way she knows how to operate. But the Duchess spent a long time trying to move herself away from Central, her family, politics. This was the life that she was offered, and she rejected it. So for her to actively start to work towards it, it's not for her benefit.
Okay. I think in that moment, like, as Darlene kind of starts putting these pieces together in her head, and she kind of like will look at Duchess and just kind of go, okay, so it's really important that these people don't have this. And we can potentially make use of this for gaining some kind of leverage with people in the city. Then let's head to the sheriff's office and we can figure out how we go about getting these things on the way, because we need to move quickly. And Debbie, the sheriff doesn't know your face, and you hide your face most of the time anyway.
Correct.
But she does know the rest of us.
And it would be good for the rest of you to be seen away from any activity.
From the scene.